Hi, my name is Jared Burris. These are my thoughts on Genesis through Numbers. Throughout these readings, we find what appears to be a strangely different God than the one who we see, or at least who I see, in the New Testament. But God doesn't change. Obviously, He cannot be different because He says that He's not different. Therefore, the thing that I wanted to do was try and find the New Testament God here in these books. But with the creation and destruction of humanity in the span of a few pages, we see the first glimpses of this New Testament God, for lack of a better term at this point. God's assistance after the fall shows me a loving God right from the start. In fact, throughout all of these pages, even though free will appears to get in the way, God still redeems His people. Even when He's fed up with them and He has His mind set on destroying them, He's swayed by the love of one man for His people. Don't be fooled, though. I do believe that although love is a primary attribute of God, and by far I find it to be His strongest, it's certainly not His only attribute. But stemming from that powerful attribute of love, we also find jealousy. Being a youth pastor, I feel that I need to use this analogy. It's kind of like a boyfriend who's jealous of that guy that his girlfriend hangs out with too much. That's the kind of jealousy that we're talking about here. We're talking about that angry, unable to see straight, you're so mad, that kind of jealousy. But I think that it's this jealousy that leads us into the book of Numbers. It's the formation of the laws that govern the people of God stem from God's jealousy it comes from his desire to keep His love, the thing that He loves the most, in this case His people, close to Him. I mean, theologically, we could say that this is God's way of setting His people apart and all of these things. But I really think, if we're going for bare bones, nitty gritty, and granted, I'm in youth ministry, so I like to relate everything back to people and, in our society today, we think this. Well, this is kind of my thought, is that what we're getting at is God's love, His love for us. And we find that here in the New Testament. All in all, I think that the God that we find in these first few books of the New Testament is simply the building blocks, the foundation, the framework to show us later on the God that we're going to find in the New Testament.